Hello there, my name is Retro. The first time you see my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, so something could be random. And today we'll talk about episode 4, Little Devil. Of course, I don't know, probably the last episode I review, I'm sure, but anyway, let's continue. Now, Origin of Evil was a really interesting kind of cliche type of episode because the whole storylines, you've seen it before. I mean, especially you've seen sitcoms like the father trying to understand the son, and the son trying to change and trying to convince him to be sort of a teenager or something like that. And usually how sitcoms work, the same formula but more a cartoon format. And these ideas are not that original. Family Guy, American Dad. Yeah, I think the Clemmy Show also did it. I'm not sure if South Park did it, but you get the idea. It's a sort of old sitcom. You have make a lot of jokes of it. But this is the interesting part. They twisted kind of in a way that is so interesting because you can understand why Chrissy are listening to this mean girl clique to help her to be friends, at least a specific female friend who can understand her, but at the same time she's sort of needy. Even you have Irwin, his kind of nerdy friend, that she wants a girl to be her friend, or the same age, the same problems, and that's sort of desperate because her mom basically screwed her over because constantly moving school to school. But I feel sort of fascinating. They use sort of the Slender Man mythology to sort of use Chrissy to summon this creature to basically shame Slender Man, the horrible things they do. But I love that Chrissy doesn't realize what she's actually doing, especially her dad, the devil, that he also tried to convince her on a weird way to make Irwin the popular kid so to convince her daughter to change. But I love it. Erling kind of saw his BS. It told him off like, yeah, you're sort of insecure. You just want your little girl back to you. Like, you don't know me, please. The devil doesn't do that. And I love it that he's sort of in denial, but at the same time, it's sort of interesting because the devil is playing something because what happened to the end of the episode that he won't basically using her. He wants something with her, especially with Irwin that he afraid is sort of a maybe a problem because he kind of changed his plan what to do with Chrissy. And I love it how Irwin sort of changed. In fact, the first time you see Irwin of the beginning of the series, let's face it, it's a type of character you kind of hate because he feels sort of like a poser in a way. That's how I felt till I saw episode 4. Yeah, I realized, well, no, Irwin is actually a real person. He is a caring, daring, sort of dorky type of character because this is a moment that I feel he's sort of a poser, what I said before. But luckily, they've kind of fixed him after episode 4 or sort of realized what he is. I love he never used him as sort of the love interest. He's just a really good friend who likes Chrissy and accepts her. And that is sort of interesting, especially how the whole series kind of points high school because sometimes it's sort of hard to get modern high school because how everything changed every 5 or 10 years. And yeah, that's sort of hard to actually do and get all the trends right. Even that could be out of date a year or two later. But other than that, it actually is so well executed. Especially I love how Chrissy's mom and also Chrissy's dad sort of outdated. They're so out of their own realm, trying to go into high school to convince Christy. It's just sort of interesting how both of them sort of care, but at the same time understanding how screwed up they actually are. And that's why I love this series because every time they do sort of a cliche, they know it's a cliche, but how a way to spin it, a very unique show like this. They use the supernatural, especially the Slenderman character. They can't really use the Slenderman. They sort of given a new name, but the same way to understand this is the Slender character. Yeah, I love that sort of idea, creative. Especially the Slendermen are basically killing teenagers because the teenagers keep summoning the character. Especially the mean girls. They just want to shame the Slenderman creature, not realizing what they're doing is probably the most dangerous thing of everything they're doing. I mean, they're so close off and mindless that you don't realize you summon a monster who doesn't give a crap. He doesn't have shame. It just kills. That's the thing they just don't get. Even when Christy trying to save her friends, they still added trying to shame the creature. It's like, you could help Christy. Stop standing here and just talk. Just get something to kill the creature. You love it, her mom trying to save her, trying to convince her very unique way. You love it that sort of that unique way that she saw what's actually going on, and you understand why her daughter wants to join this mean girl clique, because it's the only friend she actually has, and it's the only chance she actually has, and realize how fucked up she is and how she screwed her own daughter, especially her daughter doesn't know that she's in disguise as a teenager also. Yeah, I love it that sort of she never revealed herself or anything. She just let her do her time. Let her realize she made a mistake. Be honest to her and tell her what's going on. And that is sort of interesting. That's sort of refreshing. Usually, oh no, I lied too. They sort of kind of lose their way every time they do this sort of cliche. But no, this episode feels they understood the cliche, understood how to spin it. He also how to make the lore more interesting, especially what the devil trying to do with Chrissy. That is sort of interesting because the devil trying to do something with Christy, but you don't know. Especially how easily manipulated Christy really is for affection, for someone to see her as herself, not as a tool, not as the devil, her daughter, or anything of that. Just her. Yeah, I thought that's sort of interesting how she wants to be known or at least seen. Of course, this is sort of cliche, but done right make this series so interesting, especially the horror aspect, because this sort of cliche of the Slenderman done sort of interesting because it sort of did kind of like a handback, oh yeah, this is Slenderman, but did it in a way is sort of interesting, sort of how teenagers maybe use the Slenderman at least other times. In fact, I'm sort of surprised they even use Slenderman because that character, though that horror icon, is sort of slowly dying because it's not as popular as it used to be. But once more, the mythology of the Slenderman is just so loosey-goosey. You could reinvent him a different, unique way. Even his old image is just sort of interesting. Other than that, I really enjoy it, especially the horror aspect once again, because they really did hard of the Slenderman. This version of the Slenderman, it was very disturbed. Kind of like the lighting was perfect, the horror aspect, the gore, it just sort of landed. Especially with Irwin, that I said before, I did not like him, but I love it they made him realize he's being used with the devil to get Christy, but he also loved as a friend as Christy. Of course, I'm 100% sure sooner or later they make him a love interest. I hope they don't, or at least after the third season, if they get that much seasons. But once more, that is just appreciated. They trying to move things slowly but more developed. They actually do the next step. Oh, that I had a great time. What do you think about the episode? You think it was good? Was it bad? Was it interesting? Tell me down below. Let me know. I honestly got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.